Hello, friends in Iran. My name is William Powers, and I'm the author of the book Hamlet's BlackBerry, Building a Good Life in the Digital Age. The book came out over 10 years ago in this country, in the United States, and it's now out in your country, in your language, in Iran, and I'm very excited about that and so thrilled that Ali Taghdarreh, the great translator, was able to do this and work with me on it, and I couldn't think of a better person to bring this book to and its message to the people of Iran. And I'm very honored, and this is the reason for my greeting in this video, to learn that Mr Amiri, the CEO of the company Gostarsh Tijarat Tire in Iran, is going to be sharing the book with a number of CEOs in your country, people in the business world, because he feels that its message is useful for the business world. And I have found that to be the case in my country. In fact, when the book came out back in 2010, some of the first organizations I heard from inviting me to come speak about the message of the book and so forth were businesses. In fact, one of the first companies I visited to speak was Google. And I showed up at Google to give my talk and to have a conversation with the employees. And the person who welcomed me said, "We're so glad you've written this book, and we're so glad you're here to spend some time with us, because we really need to have new thinking about the technologies that we ourselves work with in this company." The book's message is certainly that we need a new way of thinking about technology, these amazing inventions that have redefined our lives and are changing the world every day. Inventions like the telephone I'm sending you this message on, and YouTube, the company that's allowing me to make the video, and really the whole internet and all the things we do with it have so much potential to take us to a better place as individuals, as people who have families and personal lives and friends we can connect with in new ways, and also as people working for organizations and companies like Mr. Amiri's company and companies everywhere. We want to be productive. We want to bring our best selves to our work every day and to do the best job we possibly can, efficiently, creatively, really serve the needs of the organizations that we're working for as well as we can. And we can't do that if we're constantly distracted, if we're constantly juggling different interruptions and messages coming at us from all these many apps and devices that we now use and that we're connected to every day. There are ways, I believe, to live intelligently in the digital age and to really make the most of all the gifts that these technologies bring to us. But it requires some thought. And what I've done in the book, as you'll see if you read it, and I'd be honored that some of you will be reading it, what I do is I go back in history to previous eras in the past of technological change, and I show through stories that every time humanity has gone through a major technological shift with some significant invention, whether it's the alphabet, which was a kind of technology invented a few thousand years ago, or closer to the present, the printing press, and later the radio, television, and now all the devices that we use every day. All of those innovations have required people to rethink and reshift their lives, and to use them productively and effectively and happily requires some thought, and really some philosophical thought, some sort of delving into the questions of, what is my life about? What is my time about? How do I use my time? How do I organize my day? How do I go about the various tasks I have before them and juggle them and perform them well and work well with my colleagues? How do I raise a family happily and in a balanced, healthy way? I cover all those questions in the book, again, using stories and using what at the time was a new emerging way of life, and my own stories from that way of life, things that I was wrestling with, questions I was wrestling with, and how I solved them using a new kind of thinking. So the book offers that up to you, the readers of Iran. And again, I'm thrilled. There's so much interest in the book there. I hope it continues. I congratulate Ali on the translation. I thank Mr. Amiri for this opportunity to speak to some of you. And I hope you enjoy the book, and I hope our paths will cross again someday. Thanks so much.